My name is Gal. If you're new here, I am a curly hairstylist. I work in Ottawa, Canada, and every Wednesday I go through my hair routine before I work in the salon for the week. Um, so I recently cut my hair a little bit shorter, and so my routine has changed a little bit, and I'm still getting used to it. But let's get into it. Have a little coffee because I'm tired this morning. If I am tired this morning, it's because I just got back from California. And I'm still on California time. So I recommend you actually bring your styling products right into the shower with you to apply them to soaking wet hair. Obviously, I'm not gonna bring you in the shower with me, but I basically I showered last night so that I don't have to wake up as early in the morning to do these lives. And then I rough dry my hair so that I don't go to bed with wet hair, because I recommend that you never go to bed with wet hair. And then I wake up in the morning and I style my hair in the morning. That's one way that you can do it, or you can just shower in the morning. I don't know, that way I have time to do deep conditioner and stuff like that at night. I only wash my hair once a week. So that works really well for me. Sometimes I will just leave it and just wash my hair Wednesday morning. It depends. But because I do this whole live in the morning, it just allows me to sleep in a little bit later on Wednesday mornings. Okay, so I just wet my hair. I'm going to start applying my styling products. The first styling product I'm going to apply, by the way, I apply a lot of products. Most people just need two products, a curl cream and a gel. Okay, that's going to be sufficient for most people. I have access to a lot of products, so I'm going to add more products than that. But most people are going to need like a curl cream or some sort of a cream product, and then some sort of a hold product, either a gel, a mousse, a foam, something that's going to give them a little bit of longevity and hold. Instead of a curl cream, I am using a blowout cream. It's a little bit lighter weight. It has thermal protection. I'm going to use about that much to start. We're going to call that like a dime size amount. And this is the Serenity Smoothing Cream by InnerSense. It's relatively medium lightweight. It can be lighter weight if you use less of it. And it's not originally meant for curls. It's a blowout cream, so it's for blowing your hair straight. And usually blowout creams are quite lightweight in the hair, because any product that's meant to be blown into the hair for wearing it blown out straight, like you can imagine, you have to basically not feel it in the hair once the hair is straight, right? Because you're going to be running your hands through straight hair and all that stuff. So blowout creams tend to be on the lighter side. So if your hair is weighed down easily, blowout creams can be a great option as a curl cream. Okay, so, and the other thing I like about blowout creams as a curl cream, if you need lighter weight products, is they almost always, double check, but they almost always have built-in thermal protection. So if you're gonna blow dry your hair afterwards, gotta love that heat protection built in. Okay, so I've got that in there. Now I am going to go in with I Create Definition Styling Foam. 3, 4, I'm gonna start with 4 pumps. This is a really interesting product. It is a styling foam. Usually foam, it's called I Create Definition by InnerSense. Usually foams are extremely soft hold and are for volume. Not this product. This is actually the strongest hold product that we carry at the salon. It is stronger hold than any of the gels that we carry. And when I say hold, I'm talking about how long it'll help you hold definition and curl in your hair. So even though it's a foam, it is very strong hold. It will give you a very crunchy, stiff cast. Cast refers to that crunchiness that is left behind in your hair, but I'm not gonna walk around with crunchy hair today. So I'm gonna get rid of that cast before I finish styling my hair, just by scrunching my hair once it's 100% dry. Okay. So that was 4 pumps. Now the last time I styled my hair, I only did 6 pumps of this stuff. I'm running very low on the mousse that I usually layer on top, so I'm actually gonna do 8 pumps even though my hair is shorter. Than it used to be. I'm gonna do the same amount of eye create definition gel as I used to. It's gonna be a little heavy, but it's gonna be pretty much my only hold product. If you've ever used the eye create definition gel, you know your hair needs to be very wet while you're working with it. It is so strong hold that if you're raking it through your hair on damp hair, it's gonna start to kind of pull your hair straight. You really need the hair to be like dripping wet while you continue to work with the hair. My hair actually isn't wet enough right now. So I'm gonna re-wet my hair. Okay. So, and you can see like how wet my hair probably looks, but it's not wet enough. I can tell because I'm kind of like going like that and it's really pulling it straight because the product is so strong hold. As soon as it starts to dry, it's really gonna start holding it however it is. Okay, so I am going to put in just a little bit of mousse, but this is the Vital Curl mousse, soft defining mousse. If you're a mousse girl or person and you really like mousse, this is a really nice one. It's not super lightweight. Mousses often aren't. Well, there are some lightweight mousses. This is a very moisturizing mousse. What I like about it is some mousses are very drying, and this is a more moisturizing mousse, so it's not going to be super flat, the finish, so it's not going to look super drying in your hair. It's not going to be super drying in your hair. It's the Weedad Vital Curl Soft Defining Mousse for volume and moisture. So not all mousses are made equal. I really like this one. Okay, I'm just going to put about that much in. And I like to really concentrate it right here at my crown and at the back of my hair where my hair has a tendency to get really stringy. And underneath. Okay. Now that I've done that, so the product is in my hair. I am now going to re-wet my hair. And this is pretty standard. Pretty much everyone, so again, if you're new here, I'm a hairstylist, I work in a curly hair salon. Pretty much everyone, 95% of my clients, after I apply styling products to their hair, no matter how wet their hair was when I applied their styling products, I re-wet their hair after I apply the styling products. It is just going to make the next step so much easier. If they tell me one of their goals is to control frizz, I'm gonna re-wet their hair after I apply their styling products. So if you have applied your styling products in the shower, which I recommend you do, this should be pretty easy. Take the shower head and just drizzle your hair. I am not in the shower, so I'm just gonna take a cup of water with like a little bit of water. And I'm gonna flip my head upside down and just drizzle it over the sink like that. People worry a lot about rinsing product out of their hair. Just don't worry about it. If you do rinse product, don't add that much water. Just drizzle a little bit of water. And yes, you can use a spray bottle for this, but typically I find a spray bottle isn't gonna add enough water. You need a little bit more water than that added. Those infinity misters are really great for refreshing hair, but at this point we need the hair to get more wet. We need that like seaweed glistening hair. And so you're just not gonna get that from a spray bottle. Okay, so the hair is wet enough now. We're gonna move to the next step. I'm gonna start sectioning the hair. And now we want to start, I like, for my hair at least, my hair dries pretty quickly. So at this point I like to like keep it moving a little bit. It would have been really, here's my Denman brush. Because my hair is going to start drying. And I want to keep my hair nice and wet while I'm working with it. So I will have to add water throughout the styling process. To keep it nice and wet. But basically, also now that my hair is shorter, I've noticed I need to use a couple more clips than I used to because I can't use my shoulders to keep my hair separated. But anyways, I'm going to use my Denman brush and I'm going to brush to smooth any wet frizz. And then I'm going to rake through and just give it a little skipping rope motion. And basically I'm just creating those, sorry, you probably couldn't see that. I'm creating those separate clumps and the water should make it really, really easy. Now I move to the next section. You can see I like to work with pretty thin sections. Okay, then I brush through my next section. Really just making sure I'm smoothing that wet frizz. This feels like it's kind of its own piece there. So I'm going to work with this section here. Putting my fingers through and just doing a little skipping rope motion. Hi, Jamie. Okay, and I'm really just going by feel. So I want my sections to be, I mean, like, I really can't see how tall I'm making them, but basically, I don't know, maybe half an inch. I guess what you're feeling for is you want it to be a flat surface on the back of your head. Does that make sense? If your head is starting to curve too much, it can sometimes cause the section to get stringy. So that's been my experience at least. So for most people, it's going to be like a half-inch section. But you'll also know because after a few times of doing your hair, if the back always turns out stringy or frizzy, you're probably taking sections that are too big at the back of your head. And the section can be too big either vertically or horizontally. So it could be that you need to take smaller sections in this direction or smaller sections in this direction. Okay, so again, I'm just taking those sections, kind of separating them. And they're really just, I'm scooping random sections wherever it feels like the hair naturally is parting. Brushing with the Denman brush to smooth any wet frizz. And just doing a very small movement, especially at the back of my head. I'm doing those very small movements with my hands just to wake up the curl again. I'm not worrying about making it perfect spirals all the way down. I'm just doing enough of a shape just to reawaken the curl. Okay, and usually at about this point, I'm just going to take a look to see how the back of my head is looking, okay? Honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. If you feel like your hair is struggling to retain moisture, I would use a little bit more cream. The next time you can either go ahead and add it or the next time you style your hair, use a little bit more of a cream product. That cream really helps your hair to retain moisture. And that's also true for like when you're choosing your styling products in general. The types of products you choose are going to affect how long your hair takes to dry. So I really like using I Create Definition because it doesn't take very long for my hair to dry compared to when I used to use a gel. Like gel takes a lot longer to dry than a styling foam would, right? So now when I diffuse my hair, it takes maybe 20 minutes versus when I used to diffuse my hair with a gel, it could easily take 30 or 40 minutes. So keeping all these things in mind will really affect how long your overall routine takes. If you're currently just using a curl cream, let's talk about that. Okay, so you might have just noticed I added water to this back section. I started noticing with the last section of hair that the hair was no longer coming together nicely, like it wasn't clumping anymore. It was starting to get stringy. So when that happens, it's almost always an indicator that the hair's not wet enough anymore, and that you need to start adding more water. It can also be an indicator that your sections are too big, but usually the hair's not wet enough. Let's see how the back is looking, if my sections are getting too big. The sections are okay. I think it's mostly a water thing. Okay, so right here on my head, I have like a flat section on my head, and it causes the back of my head to get very, very stringy. So I start to take much smaller sections. So I'll let you see what I'm doing. So this technique, by the way, is called the rake and shake method. I only style my hair once a week. So I don't mind taking the extra time to do this because it lasts me a week. So I'm very, very happy to like take this time to really get the longevity out of my style. On the other days, I refresh my hair, but especially now that my hair is a little bit shorter, I really get that longevity. Like it lasts really, really well. I think a really good like medium length or short haircut can really start to lead into the frizz, especially with texture sprays and stuff like that. However, I think, I talk to my clients about this a lot. I think the biggest reason, in my opinion, that people give up on their wavy or curly hair isn't because their hair routine takes too long. It's just, that's not the reason I see most people giving up. It's not because their hair routine takes too long. It's because the refreshing takes too long. It's not day 1, it's day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. It's those other days. Because anybody can make their day 1 quick. It's the other days. So to me, I would much rather spend an extra couple of minutes on day 1. Hi, Melanie. How's it going? My week is going very well, thank you. I would much rather spend a couple of extra minutes on my day 1 to get my act together so that my refreshes take way less time. Now, I find in particular, taking this extra time is more helpful for what I call transitioning hair. So that is hair that is maybe unhealthy, struggling, or that has very specific challenges. So what am I doing? I'm doing something called the rake and shake method. So this is where I go through and like clump hair to reduce frizz and section the hair. So the reason the rake and shake method, which is what I'm doing right now, is so helpful for transitioning hair is transitioning hair tends to get stringy more easily and struggle with frizz a lot more than hair that's naturally like already in its healthiest state. It also, off transitioning hair or hair that's currently not at its optimal health, also tends to have struggle more with uneven curl pattern or like be fighting more with its curl pattern. And the rake and shake method is going to help you with all of those things. So you can see kind of as I go through section by section, I'm really adding hydration to the hair. I'm making sure the hair is fully saturated. I'm going through and helping it clump into those sections. You can see I'm kind of taking these sections by section. At this point, my hair is getting a little bit dry, so I'm pretty much adding water with each section as I go, even though my hair was so wet when we were first getting started. And then I just give it a very small shake to re-wake it up. So it really helps with that transitioning hair where you have that super uneven curl pattern all over, because maybe that section wouldn't have curled otherwise, but by giving it that little shake, it starts to wake it up and give it that more even curl pattern with that transitioning hair. Yeah, so what were my comments gonna be about curl cream? If you're only using curl cream right now, I often have clients come in who are only using curl cream. And let me know if you're only using curl cream right now. Are you having any of these challenges? Maybe you love your hair right away, but by the end of the day, you're struggling with frizz, loss of curl, poofiness, or maybe not by end of day, but by day 2, you're not getting longevity out of your style, you're losing definition, just like things aren't lasting. So you like things right away, but it doesn't last. So what a lot of people don't realize is curl cream doesn't have, most curl creams, I mean, unfortunately there's really no standardization in the marketing industry for curls. But most curl creams don't have hold, or if they do have hold, it's only a very soft hold. And so what that means is, if curl cream is your only styling product, you're just not going to get longevity out of your style. Now, I think one of the reasons that a lot of people who are just starting out, or not just starting out, people in general, with wavy or curly hair choose to only use curl cream. One, because it says curl on it. So they're just starting to take care of their wavy or curly hair, or maybe they've been doing it for a while and they're like, this says curl on it, I have curly hair, I'm gonna use this product. I think that's one reason. And then the other reason is curl creams are not gonna give you crunchy hair. And so they have tried gels in the past and they don't like how it gives them crunchy hair, so they stuck with curl creams. So I think those are the main 2 reasons that people stick with curl creams. I'll start with addressing the crunchy hair. So any product that gives you crunch is not the devil. You hear me talk about this a lot on this page. You just need to learn how to work with those products. When your hair is crunchy, all that means is you're not done styling it. okay? Products that leave your hair crunchy should not feel producty in your hair once you're done styling. I just posted a video on my page, I think it's the most recent reel, of a client that only used curl creams in her hair. She was very nervous when I explained to her that we were going to use a product that created a cast in her hair. And she was like, well, I just don't want to feel product in my hair. I don't want to feel anything. And by the time I was done with her hair, she couldn't believe her hair felt lighter and less producty than it had ever felt. But she got more hold, more longevity, okay? So curl creams don't have hold, but products that have hold will create crunch in your hair. You just need to wait till the hair is 100% dry, and then you can scrunch away the crunch, okay? So gels, things like that make your hair crunchy, just when the hair is 100% dry, you just need to scrunch your hair. And if that crunchiness won't go away, you just used too much. If the hair gets sticky, it means that the product was too heavy for your hair, or it means that the cream that you put under that gel was too heavy for your hair. Which is very possible. There are a lot of people out there using curl creams that are too heavy for their hair. Okay? Very, very common. Because you can get away with it for a long time because it will take a lot of the heavy lifting out of the styling work for you. It will slick down all your wet frizz for you. It will make it seem like you don't have to do the rake and shake method, all that fun stuff. But what will happen is over time, it will start to damage your hair. Over time, your hair will start to get less curly. Over time, you might even just start to see a change in the elasticity in your hair, and not for the better. So you'll struggle with volume probably. You'll find that your hair gets weighed down. These are all things that you might start to notice. So a lot of people think, well, I'll just use less of it or I'll water it down, but it's still going to be a product that's too heavy for your hair. The other thing it will likely start to do if it's a product that's too heavy for your hair is it will likely start to build up on your hair. Okay, so that is a little bit of my shtick about curl cream. Can you use curl creams? Yes, you probably should use curl creams. Not everybody needs to use curl creams, but a lot of us use curl creams. But it's very likely that curl cream is not the only thing that you should be using. Most people need 2 products. I would venture to say, not everyone. There are a lot of people who can get away with only 1 product. Very few people, that 1 product is a curl cream. Unless you are somebody who is going to have to, I would say unless you are like an 8-year-old. Children might be the exception to that. I will recommend a curl cream to a lot of kids, just because we know they're not going to get the longevity out of the style anyways, because they're touching their hair all the time. They're little kids, they're playing, they're not going to wear a silk scarf, they're not going to wear a bonnet. You know, I think curl cream on its own for very young children can be good. Other than that, yeah. Where are you guys from today? Spring has finally arrived in Ottawa. I went to Santa Monica, and it was colder in Santa Monica than it was in Ottawa while I was gone. New York City, oh cool. I'm going to New York in June. I'm going to get my Rezo level 1. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of a Rezo cut. I'm from Southern Ontario. Oh, that's awesome. But I'm gonna be in New York City in June. Chicago suburbs, that's awesome. Tampa, I was just in Naples. Cape Cod, Massachusetts. How do you say that? Massachusetts. I feel like around here we say Massachusetts, but I don't know if that's right. Gary, Indiana. Every time I hear Gary, Indiana, I think of the Music Man. I was in the Music Man when I was a kid. Well, like a local production. Gary, Indiana. Okay, so, oh, I forgot that I have a new hairstyle. Oh my gosh, I was just gonna do like my side part and everything. Birmingham, UK, Amsterdam. Is that Amsterdam? Is there an Amsterdam in Newfoundland? Okay. Oh guys, I have bangs, I forgot. Okay, how are we gonna style these bangs? Okay, this is my first live styling these bangs. I'm nervous. I've only had to style them on my own without Marilyn's help like once. Okay. I feel like I'm just gonna keep it pretty simple. So I basically just brushed through with a Denman brush. Brush through again with a Denman brush. And then brush through again with a Denman brush just to get it all clumped and facing forward. Oh yeah, I think I'm supposed to be doing a middle part now. Okay, there we go. Okay, what are my favorite products these days? Why is the Denman brush such a big thing for curly hair? That's a great question. So a couple of questions. So this is the Denman D4. For one, it's Denman is a very good quality line. They sell a whole bunch of hairbrushes for hairstylists. It can come apart and be cleaned. That's one of the things people love about it, so it will last you forever. I've had this one for 2 or 3 years now, and I'll probably have it for another 20 years. So they are, you can't see my eyes, but they are very good quality hairbrushes. It's actually not meant for curly hair. It's meant for like blow drying hair and styling hair. People like it for curly hair because it's got a rubber back, so when you brush through the wet hair, it creates tension. And so when you're brushing the curly hair, it helps clump the curly hair together and smooth all of the wet frizz. So that's kind of how it came to be as a curly hair styling brush. It's certainly not the only brush that can be used for that. Some people use boar bristle brushes and things like that. I do happen to like Denman brushes from like a hygienic purpose because it all comes apart, it's all rubber, it's very easy to dry out and to clean, all that fun stuff. But they're like the bounce curl brush I have at the salon is another option of a brush that works very well that you could use. There are different options. A bounce curl brush you can really only buy if you're in the US. It's too expensive to have it shipped to Canada. There are like you can buy knockoffs of the Denman. I do think it's worth it to spend the money to get the real Denman, and I have a knockoff. For the extra $10 that you're gonna spend on the real one, I would get the real one. Like, I do think it is much better. This one, like, you're gonna have it for the rest of your life. Just get the real one. If you have the money. I get that not everybody does. Can you use this one? Yes, but this one is a lot better, in my opinion. They look very similar. My hair catches in this one a little bit. This one is just so much better. I don't know. Not everyone agrees with me on this, but I tend to think that's because they haven't tried a real Denman. Okay, so I am going to now use a t-shirt. So this is a t-shirt towel. Oh yeah, sorry, I think you just asked me that. So the products that I used so far, Serenity Smoothing Cream, I used as a curl cream by InnerSense. Then I used the I Create Definition Styling Foam. Serenity Smoothing Cream, I Create Definition Styling Foam. So I used maybe like a nickel size amount of the Serenity Smoothing Cream. I used 8 pumps of this. That's a lot. Some people only need 1 pump of the I Create Definition Styling Foam. So like, be careful with this product. My hair can tolerate a lot of it, but be very careful if you're wanting to try this product. Start with 1 pump if you have fine low density hair, and then build from there. Yeah, InnerSense is awesome. And then I used some of the Weedad Vital Curl Mousse. And then I might use a little bit of some other products, but that's all I have in so far. Okay. I'm now going to micro plop. So now my hair is dripping wet, so now I'm going to scrunch out the excess moisture. Okay, if you are very busy and your hair is not super prone to frizz, but your hair takes forever to dry, and maybe you work from home or whatever, you could plop your hair here. Like, if you're somebody who likes to plop with a t-shirt, this is where you would do it, okay? Plop your hair in a t-shirt right here for like 20 minutes. If you have bangs, I wouldn't do it. But if you don't have bangs, this is where you would do it. You don't need to plop for more than max 40 minutes. Okay? I wouldn't plop for more than 40 minutes. Okay, now, last product before we start diffusing, I like to go in with the I Create Lift. This is another foam, but it's very different. It doesn't have much hold. I can add it quite generously because it has almost no hold. It has a little bit of grit, okay? And this is a volumizing foam, and I like to add it at my crown, anywhere that I want volume. Okay? So I added that in, and then my last styling product, I just have a lot of styling products. You don't need this many. You could get away, honestly, with the Serenity Smoothing Cream and the Eye Create Definition. That's plenty. I just happen to have bought this traveling kit of a whole bunch of travel sizes, so I have all of them, and they work really well together. So the Eye Create Lift is gonna add volume and body at my roots and a little bit of texture, okay? And then the Eye Create Finish, but if you have an unlimited budget, these products all do really work well together. The Eye Create Finish by InnerSense is just going to add a little bit of extra hold and kind of hold everything together so it doesn't get too frizzy. It will also help my hair dry a little bit faster. Okay. Now that I've banged, yeah, I got my hair cut. All my hair is cut shorter. I got my hair cut right before I went to California. So I like to, when it comes to diffusing, there's two main diffusing techniques. The first diffusing technique is called hover diffusing. So that's what I'm going to start with. Hover diffusing is where you literally hover around your hair to allow the cast to start to set on your hair. It creates the least amount of frizz, but it doesn't really do anything to encourage volume or curl. I typically like to hover diffuse just for a little bit until I start to feel a little bit of stiffness. But with this haircut, I'm going to hover diffuse a little bit less than I used to. I do like to hover diffuse my bangs to make sure that I have them kind of facing the direction I want. And if you're like me and you have a cowlick right here, you're going to want to like hover diffuse that cowlick. I have a Cato cut or a Cadeau cut, whatever you call it. C-A-D-O. The diffuser I have is called a Lyphin. It's linked in my bio. I really like it. I've had it now for, has it been a year? Yeah. 6 months, 8 months, something like that. I really, really like it. If you're new here, guys, I'm a hairstylist. I work out of Ottawa, Canada. I work with curly hair. Okay. So after I've kind of set my curls with, or my wavy curly hair, whatever you call it, with hover diffusing, then I am going to switch to pixie diffusing to encourage volume and encourage the curl. So if you're new here, so again, there's two main diffusing techniques that I do. I start with hover diffusing, and the purpose of starting with hover diffusing is it creates the least amount of frizz, and it doesn't encourage the curl, it doesn't encourage volume, but by starting with this technique, you're basically allowing that cast from your product to hold to start to set. So that by the time you go in and you actually start touching the hair, you've got that cast that's going to protect the hair from frizz for the rest of the diffusing process. If you go straight in and immediately start touching the hair, that's not necessarily wrong. And for some hair types that dries really quickly, you do need to start that, like that. But for my hair that takes it longer to dry, if I go straight in and start doing that, by the time my hair is dry, it's going to be very frizzy and very stringy. So I have to start with this technique to get that cast to protect my hair for the rest of the drying process. Everybody's hair is a little bit different, but that's what works best for me. Yeah, so it depends how quickly your hair dries. Okay, so now I'm going to flip my hair upside down. So this technique is called pixie diffusing. So this is when I lower the hair into the mouth of the diffuser. So actually, Krista, you make a really good point there. So I do, and this is where doing the customized appointments is really helpful because everybody's hair is so different. I would say about 5 to 10, honestly, probably only 5% of my clients come in and I go straight into pixie diffusing with them. We don't do any hover diffusing. All the rest of my clients, we hover diffuse first, and then we pixie diffuse. But I do have about 5 or maybe almost 10% of my clients where we do have to go straight into pixie diffusing because their hair just dries so quickly. If I was to hover diffuse them first, we would lose all the volume and all the curl. So everybody's hair is a little bit different. But yeah, if your hair takes a long time to dry, like if you're diffusing your hair and it's taking 20 minutes or more to dry when you're diffusing it, and your hair is prone to frizz during the diffusing process, then very likely you would benefit from hover diffusing first. Now the thing to be mindful of is when you're diffusing your hair, you probably want to hold positions for longer. Again, it depends on how long your hair takes to dry, how long you want to hold these positions while you're diffusing. If your hair is diffused in under 10 minutes, you don't need to hold positions for as long. If your hair is taking 20 to 40 minutes to diffuse, you're going to want to hold positions correspondingly long. Like if your hair takes 40 minutes to diffuse, you might want to hold positions for 30 seconds. Pixie diffusing after the cast is set, is that similar to scrunch out the crunch? No, yes and no, because pixie diffusing will continue to set the cast if your hair is still wet. Like I will continue to have a cast up until my hair is about 90% dry. Pixie diffusing only, for me at least, only starts to break the cast at about 90% dry. If you are moving then you are gonna break the cast. And that's where how much you move the diffuser starts to affect your results. If you're moving the diffuser too much, it is going to break your cast. I should try, on YouTube you said I should try the viral brush twist hack. Is that the brush with like the pointy, like the weird brush with like all the pointy things coming out of the top that you just spin? Or do you just mean like a regular brush twirling and wrapping your hair around the handle? What products are best? That's a good question. I mean, different products are best for different people. You want to be choosing styling products based on your hair density, or sorry, hair strand thickness is what I mean by that. So how big are your individual strands? Do you have fine or thick hair strands? And what are your hair goals? So do you want super big voluminous hair, or do you want your hair to be kind of sleek? Do you want to encourage your curl? Do you not want to encourage your curl? I've done a post in the past about choosing curly hair products, so you might find that post helpful. So you really want to think about what your goals are when you're choosing hair products. I would recommend products that aren't full of heavy butters and oils, because they're going to build up on your hair. And I would recommend using a high quality clarifying shampoo. I mean, actually, I would recommend using Malibu Sea clarifying shampoo. Frankly, let's not mess around. It's hands down my favorite clarifying shampoo. So yeah, like there's lots of good brands out there that you can use. I love Intersense. But there's lots of good ones. I mean, Dad has good products. Eva Curl has good products. You can find lots of good products out there. I didn't film this haircut. No, it was like just a very impromptu thing. But yes, it was a dry haircut. Workout and sweating profusely daily. Rinsing doesn't seem to clean my hair, so I'm shampooing every day. Any suggestions? It doesn't seem to clean your hair. Have you clarified recently? If your hair doesn't seem to be feeling clean, my first question is always, how frequently are you clarifying, and what type of clarifying shampoo are you using, and do you have hard water where you live? I feel like my hair is taking a very long time to dry today. Okay. So yes, you're clarifying with a good clarifying shampoo. You don't have hard water. are you a curly girl and are you using curly hair products in your hair? And if you are, what feels dirty? Is it the sweat? Like, is it oil buildup at your hair that feels dirty? Or is it, okay. So is the challenge that you're having just that, like, you feel like you need to shampoo from your workouts? Like that the challenge is just, you really just want to shampoo? You just feel like you just need to, like, wash after your workouts? Then in that case, I would just say, have you tried co-washing? It just feels gross, I can't refresh. Yeah, that's fine. You work out hard. Have you tried co-washing? So just so that you don't have to shampoo. Do you know what I mean by co-washing? Oh, you don't need to buy a co-wash. Just use your conditioner. Your conditioner is fine. You don't need to use a specific product. Just use your conditioner, but wash your hair with it. Every second time you go to wash your hair, shampoo, like act like you're shampooing your hair, but just use conditioner. But I would say if you're doing that, especially if you're fine-haired, which maybe you're not, but especially if you're a fine-haired person, make sure that you're using a shampoo and conditioner that are made for fine hair. Because if you're fine-haired and you're using a curly girl shampoo and conditioner, I'd be willing to bet they're meant for thick hair, and then that conditioner is going to be way too heavy for your hair. So if you have fine hair, go out and buy a shampoo and conditioner that is meant for fine hair. Something like Living Proof, Perfect Hair Day, or something like that, so that the, oh, thick hair. Okay, perfect. You're good. You're good to go then. If I had to choose only one product, what would it be? One product for what? Like to be on a deserted island with, you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, I have it on the lowest heat setting. So not cold air, but the lowest heat setting. Do I like K18 products? Yes. You're welcome. I have my diffuser on low heat but high air setting, but you have to get to know your diffuser. I don't know if you have a light bin or not. Like if you're, like feel how much airflow is coming out of your diffuser, because if your diffuser is blowing your hair all over the place and creating a ton of frizz, you might have to turn down the airflow. The diffuser is quite good on the light bin, so I can have it on the high airflow. Oh, awesome. What is going on? My hair is taking forever to dry today. I guess I use more eye create definition than I usually do. Hopefully it's not way down. Look at my poodle bangs. TikTok just made me verify that I'm actually still live. So like, we have detected inactivity. So it's not really a pixie, it's not really a bob. It's like, it's called a Kato cut, so it's actually very layered. But I have bangs. And I'm just letting it get as curly as possible because I know my curl, and I know my curl will start to fall quickly as soon as it's dry. Do I ever wear my hair straight? Is that haircut only for curly hair? That's a really good question. When my hair was longer, yes. With this haircut, I can try. I don't think it's gonna look good straight. It's very short and very layered. So I don't think it's gonna look great straight, I'll be honest with you. A Kato cut is also, it's not a precision cut. So curly cuts, the way they're cut, so if you think about, the purpose of a curly cut is to be cut to be balanced when the hair is warm curly. And the whole point of curly cuts, with curly cuts, is that the struggle that people with wavy curly hair have is that when they get when they get straight haircuts, all their hair is, when it's wet, it's pulled straight and it's cut the same length, or it's pulled straight and it's layered. But then when it's diffused, their curl pattern hasn't been taken into consideration, and all of a sudden some areas are way too short because those areas are curlier, right? So a curly cut is not all pulled straight. A curly cut is, they come in with dry hair, worn curly, and we cut it in that state, okay? So then if everything is then straightened, those areas that are naturally curlier, when they're straightened, are going to be longer, right? So in my hair, like, I'm much curlier under here, plus that area is naturally longer because that's how it's cut in this haircut. So if I was to now wear this straight, it's gonna be kind of mullet, right? That's not because it's a bad haircut, that's because it's a good curly cut. Because this is my curliest area, and this is the longest part of the haircut. Would I like how it would look straight? Probably not. I mean, it might be kind of a vibe. But I wear my hair straight maybe twice a year. So do I want it to look good straight, or do I want it to look good curly? I guess that's the question. Now, could I wear it in a blowout with like some bend to it? Probably. And that's the thing with a Cadeau cut, a Kato cut, is they're not precision cuts. Can you wear them pin straight? I wouldn't recommend it. Can you wear it with like a bevel with a nice bend to it? Probably. You can probably make that work. And can you wear it like curled, like with like a curling iron? Yes, usually you can wear it like that. So you can wear it heat styled if you want to. Just you usually wouldn't want to wear it pin straight because it's not a precision cut. No, that's not necessarily true, by the way, if you get a Cadeau cut on long hair. I just happen to have a short haircut. If you get a Cadeau cut on much longer hair, you probably can get away with wearing it straight. Ready? We're pretty much dry now. Okay, so this is my hair casted. So somebody was asking earlier, is pixie diffusing kind of like scrunching out the crunch? Not really. Like, I've been pixie diffusing and my hair is still casted. Okay, I have. You can see how small my hair is. It has a nice cast on it, nice crunchy cast. Okay. So Cadeau cut is cut on dry hair with no product in it, somebody's asking. You can have product in your hair. We typically ask that you come into the salon without heavy butters or oils on your hair, but you can definitely have gel on your hair or product on your hair. We want to be able to see your natural curl pattern. Okay, so my hair is now dry. So now I'm going to shake it out and I'm going to break the cast. I typically don't use an oil to break the cast unless I need it. Oh my god, it's so cute. Okay, 1 second. So, this is then how I go through and break my cast to get rid of any crunchiness. So you can see it's starting to build. And if I feel dampness, I'm going to go back in. And keep diffusing. Oh, thank you. I feel like it's very vintage. It was very much inspired by Mains by Mel. She definitely started a revolution of short hair, like, let's be very real. I can't get over how many people brought in a picture of Mains by Mel's new hair, her new short hair, being like, I want this. I feel like I'm fighting with one little piece here. How would you wear your hair when working out? I don't really know now that it's shorter. I'm still figuring it out. I've only worked out once and it was like almost wash day. Hi, I have a similar cut and I'm getting frizz on the top of my hair all over. Have you tried the rake and shake method? Like, how much water are you using during this styling process? I'm going to be posting this recording of how I did my hair today to YouTube and to Instagram, so you can go back and watch the whole routine. The other thing I would say is, are you just using curl cream, or are you also using a hold product? I think that needs to be cut there, right there. So that's pretty much it for the new routine. I've been having fun with it though. It definitely takes me a lot less time. Like, I think I probably shaved 20 minutes off of my old routine just by having shorter hair. I think there's definitely like a diminishing returns. I think if your hair is super, like, too long, it takes forever. And then I think if your hair is like from here to, like, you know, in this vicinity, it's very easy to refresh and easy to style. But then if your hair gets too short again, then you have to style it like constantly. So there we go. Let's see, let's check out the back. The back always gives me grief. No, that's pretty good. Okay, so I am gonna need to, okay, so once my hair is a little bit more dry, I don't know if you guys can tell, but through here, it's too defined. I don't know if you guys can tell that. But this is too defined and it's this is too defined. So this all needs to be broken up more and like shaken out more. So before I go to work, I am gonna, it's still a little damp, so I think I'm gonna leave it for now, but right before I go to work, I'm gonna like really get in there and like shake everything out and make sure everything gets really, really big. But for now, I'm just gonna let it settle while I finish getting ready for work. And then right before I go to work, I'm going to really get in there and start like breaking everything up and like really making everything get big. Maybe I'll do it a little bit right now. And like really start like building stuff. You can already kind of see the direction that things start to go in. But this here will get broken up a little bit more so that the cut is a little bit more cohesive, because you can see right in here how things kind of feel like they're sitting a little bit weird, but it's because things are too defined right now. But it will sit a little bit better once everything's broken up a little bit more. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much for joining. I will see you next Wednesday. Peace out. Bye.